is Vince Haley. I'm also running for the 12th District Senate seat. I'm running on two big ideas to bring about a successful Virginia future. First is I think we need a bigger economy, more jobs, and greater take-home pay in this state. And I think the way we get there is we join the nearly 20% of the other states that have no state income tax. That is not an overnight proposition. That is a matter of years. But if we set it as a goal, I think we can create budget restraint, which Dave Graff taught us about how we can create budget restraint over a series of years. We can gradually lower the tax rate, the income tax rate, until we get to zero. North Carolina is moving in this direction. They've already put a revenue trigger. They reach a certain amount of revenues. They automatically lower that income tax rate. These states have more jobs, they have greater take-home pay, and they draw people to their state. Front page, Richmond Times-Dispatch, last week. Headline, city's high taxes fault is being bad for business. Well, it turns out, at the local level, you have a high B-poll tax in Richmond. What's happening? These businesses and people are moving to Henrico, moving to Chesterfield, and moving to Hanover. What's true at the local level is no less true at the state level. People go to where there's a low-tax environment. I think this is a big idea for Virginia's future, and we can get there with budget restraint. The second big idea I'm running on, and was the biggest motivator for me to run. Jimmy Massey alluded to this in his opening remarks. We know things are going in the wrong direction. It is the case that our federal government is increasingly lawless, and I don't use that lightly as a term. It is in many cases becoming more and more systematically corrupt of the forms of government. I'll give you three examples. The EPA is undertaking a legal plan to raise electricity rates in this state by 20 to 30%. That's not my view, that's the Bingham's view. That's going to have horrific consequences. We saw a study this week, it's going to cause 38,000 job losses. If we don't do something about that, reject that EPA plan, my plan is to not have any cooperation with it at the state level. It doesn't matter what we do with our income tax rates. If we have a 30% increase in our energy rates, we're not going to be doing well as an economy. We have to stop that. Second, the president stands for a principle that he can unilaterally change state law. I'll give you one example. He, in his amnesty plan, has already argued in federal court that states have to give driver's licenses to people who are here illegally. In Virginia, that would mean giving licenses to people who've never done it before. We learned after 9/11 how bad it is when we have a series of driver's license laws that don't protect the people of the state. We have to stop that. And lastly, what's going to happen here in a couple of weeks, we all know what's going on about religious freedom in the country. And we've seen that in Indiana. Of course, the elephant in the room is the Supreme Court. Every signal is giving that the Supreme Court is going to formally overturn all these state constitutional limits on marriage. It is going to do great destruction to its legitimacy in this country, and it's going to have all types of open questions for the years ahead. We know that Thomas Jefferson was the author of the Virginia Statute of Religious Freedom. It was passed by the General Assembly. This is the General Assembly in 1786. How long is it going to be before someone goes to his gravestone, Monticello, where it has three things? What does it say? Author of the Declaration of Independence, founder of the University of Virginia, and the author of the Virginia Statute of Religious Freedom. If you go to his memorial in Washington, it has a quote of his. And this really is the case. This is the issue that we see in this country right now, and it's going to go on for years. I swear upon the altar of God Almighty, eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the blind man. That is going to be a thing that's going to test this General Assembly in years to come. It's not going to go away. And I think we can start by saying with strong action on this EPA, we send a signal that the state of Virginia will not tolerate such an attack. And I think we can have a much better state if we are able to have that kind of independence from an overreaching government. I ask for your support June 9th. There are other great candidates. If you want to find out about me, go to vincehaley.com. Thank you for your time.